This is Zoran Theodorovich, aka the Mighty Z. We have Jason. Is it Jason Crosson?
Yeah, go Crosson, yeah.
Crosson. We have Jason Crosson on the phone with us. We are calling Australia, I believe. Is that correct?
That's it, Sydney, Australia.
And how does the weather suit you today?
Well, we're heading into winter now, so it's starting to get a little bit chilly.
What is chilly?
For us, I guess, we're in Celsius. So I'm not sure what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's probably about 18 at the moment, 17 degrees Celsius, which I don't know, no idea what that is in Fahrenheit.
How long is winter?
Our winter starts in June and then goes through to the end of August. So basically, our winter is your summer.
Oh, okay. That sounds right. So let's talk about the band. How did Crosson come to be?
I've been working on the I guess the whole concept and band for a good many years. And then we did a couple of independent releases, and then I think at around about 2012, I thought, well, I'm going to take this really seriously now. I put my head down, and we got in contact with Dwayne Barron, who mixed Girls, Motley Crue, Open Up and Say Poison. He produced Ozzy Osbourne's No More Tears, and I asked him if he wanted to mix, and he loved what we were doing, and he's basically been our mixing engineer for the past 3 albums. And then from that, we got a deal in Germany, and we had a couple of releases released through them. The last of the 2 albums before Rock and Roll Love Affair, and then the press jumped on board and liked what we were doing, and we had some good publicists who got us a bit of notoriety in across the European mainland, and we hit the charts in Germany with Invincible. So it's been a bit of a journey, a long journey. It took a while to get the sound right, image right. But around about 6-7 years ago, so it all sort of came together, and we've been sort of going along that road ever since.
And how does the new one differ from Invincible?
Well, Invincible did reasonably well, and that puts the pressure on you to, you've got to put out a better album, better songs, and it was a matter of just putting my head down and being a bit more brutal with tracks that were okay, but when you're trying to better the next album, you just got to get rid of them. Just say, look, I've spent like 30 hours producing this track, and it's a 6. So make the album. So you just got to go back to the drawing board and start writing another track that's going to be better and replace it. And so that was the whole concept. It was just a matter of this next album had to be better, and I think we did that.
And the new one is CD. The new CD is Rock and Roll Love Affair, right? Rock
and Roll Love Affair. That's it. Story of my life. And a story of all our lives, I think it is. If you're into the genre, then, we all have this love of rock and roll, and that's what it's all about.
And is there a concept that runs throughout the album, or is it more of a collection of songs?
No, it's a collection of songs. It was never meant to be a concept album at all. After we finished the songs, it was like, okay, what's going to be a great title for the album, and went through the songs, and we went with Rock and Roll Love Affair, and then we based the artwork all around the title, the album title. But yeah, for me, it's just a matter of churning out the best songs I can possibly do and write. And, if I've got troubles, I've got a co-writer I go to with it and say, help, I need a bit of help with this one, a bit of help with this one. So yeah, it's just a matter of trying to put together the best 10 songs we could.
And how has the recording process changed since Invincible, or has it?
It hasn't really. I still demo in my little studio, and once the demos are done, then I approach the musicians who I want to use on the album, and I'll just get them to learn it. And I say, look, these are the songs. Put your magic into it. I'm not a great guitarist. I'm not a drummer. But, I'll program all that stuff, and I'll just tell them to, add their little magic into it. But if you listen to the demos and the final products, they're not that much different as far as the structure goes. But, when you get great players in, it brings it to life a lot more.
Do you have a different host of players on this album than from Invincible?
The drummer and the bass player are the same. The guitarist who we used on Invincible wasn't available, so I approached Stu Marshall, who's a friend of mine, and Stu's been around forever. He plays with Death Dealer, with Scott Ross the Boss, and Stu's been one of the best metal guitarists in the country. So we spent a few days together, and he whacked out some great guitar solos and came up with some great concepts. I thought, oh great, let's stop there. What did you just do? What did you just do, Stu? Right, let's put that at the beginning of the song. So. No, it was good working with all those guys. They're all professionals, and they come in, they know their stuff, they smash it out, and then it gets along. Then we get the backing vocals done, and then I got to do my vocals, and then it gets sent off to Dwayne in the States, and he waves his magic wand and gives it that big sound as well. No, it's a long process from demoing to getting it to mixing, and then from mixing getting it to mastering, and then getting it back in your hands and getting it ready to get out into the marketplace.
What is the main inspiration for Rock and Roll Love Affair?
As mentioned, it was just a matter of trying to get the best 10 songs I could write out. Obviously, the influences are there. Some songs I might go, gee, I want to write another You Give Love a Bad Name, or I want to try and do another songs that maybe influenced me over the years.
And do we have guests on this album?
Well, I guess on the album is we used obviously Stu Marshall, Dario Botolan from the Baby Animals on bass, Jordan McDonald, who's been playing on our last 3 albums, but none of those guys play live with us. I guess the live band's only been. This was recorded before I got my live musicians together that we're currently using at the moment. So I guess the last 3 albums I've tried to use the best cream of the crop of Australia's metal community, so to speak. I mean, these guys are all friends and I've known them for years.
I'm in the loo on the throne, which apparently is not good for hemorrhoids, is what I read somewhere. Anyway.
Well, get in and out really quickly. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Absolutely. Read outside the loo.
That's it. I'm always telling my kids, don't take your computers into the bathroom. You'll end up with hemorrhoids.
Yeah. Get in, get off, get out, right?
That's it. So this interview's gone in another direction.
In an appropriate direction, as far as I'm concerned. So, did you record any bonus tracks for the Japanese market?
No, we didn't. I just kept it at the best 10. I think I guess in the day when CDs were a big thing and you had Japanese pressings and things were made specifically for Japan, but now you upload onto your Spotify, your iMusic, the world gets it. So I think times have changed a little bit, unless you're doing specific pressings for Japan.
Galaxy Records, that's the a label that put out the new one, right?
Yeah, so Galaxy Records is my label. It's always been a production company for basically everything that I've done in the last God knows how many years. But then the 2 albums before that, we were with Galaxy Records produced everything, and then when we licensed it through our German label that we had, which was Metalopolis. But this time round, we've done it ourselves. We've used the same publicists that we've used, that the German label used. I know what streams we get. I know how many CDs we sell. It's a bit more controlled now. It's just a bit more in-house.
Do you have a favorite year of the 80s?
Wow, favorite year of the 80s. Gosh, there was some good stuff that came out. 85 was a great year. We had, Dockin' Under Lock and Key and Motley Crue's Theatre of Pain, and Favorite year of the 80s. I think I'm just caught in the whole 80s from about 82 to 89, and I can't get out.
Was there a year of the 80s you think some people might have lost their way? Or was it a solid 9 or 10 years of magic?
Look, to me, it was as soon as that whole Nirvana thing came along. I think towards the end, I think bands started repeating themselves a bit. Not all, but I don't want to mention names, but some
Sure.
albums that was the same as the last album. That was the same as the album before. But I mean, there were so many artists there. If one album didn't appeal to you, then you'd find the next new band that would come along. I mean, I love stuff from '82, which I think Number of the Beast, and then it sort of went all the way to I think '91, and then it sort of started to fizzle a bit. I mean, they just got annihilated.
Right.
But now it's all fully acceptable. It's all loved. People are coming out, and it's back again. So, I guess when we first started, I was a little lost because I couldn't do 80s stuff because no one wanted to hear it.
Sure.
But then it was like, you know what? After doing the first few albums, which I wasn't that happy with production-wise, it was like, you know what? I'm just going to do what I love, and if they like it, great. If they don't, then I don't care. This is what drives me. I'm not going to do music that for the sake of doing music. I want to do music that I enjoy. Which is the big harmonies, the catchy choruses. I just hated all that '90s stuff. It was just so. It just made you feel bad.
Right. And what was planned that had to be postponed due to the current worldwide pandemic?
We were very lucky, I guess, the week we just finished a tour with Ron Keel, Janet Gardner, and Enough's Enough. And then the following week we played with Reckless Love from Finland, and then then that show just went off, and then it just stopped. We had a few shows lined up which had to be cancelled. We had the album launch which had to be cancelled. So at the moment it's just a matter of, well, we don't know when our next show is because we don't know when these restrictions are going to be lifted. So it's just a matter of heading into the studio and maybe start working on the next one. Full steam ahead, just keep on going. I mean, there's a lot of press because the album got released just recently, so there's a lot of press I've got to do and PR. We got a new video coming out in the next few weeks just to keep that momentum and the ball rolling. And but we just can't wait to get back on the road again and start doing what we do best and doing what we enjoy.
Absolutely. What song is the next video for?
I was going to keep that a secret.
Well, let's keep it a secret then.
Let's keep it a secret. Yeah. You'll soon find out.
We will.
It's a bit of a. I'll just give it. It's a bit of a tribute. That's about all I can say at the moment.
What have you been doing to pass the time during the restrictive times that we live in?
Well, I have another business that I run as well and own, so I've been trying to keep that afloat because a lot of businesses are shutting down. So, been doing that, been writing a lot of PR and press for the album, trying to get some exercise, swimming, surfing, because bit of golf.
What kind of advice do you have for your fans during these trying times?
Enjoy the music that's out there. I mean, you've got time now, so instead of doing playlists, listen to the whole album. As Lemmy would say, fuck the playlist, listen to the album. The playlist is